Hi everyone, Adarsh here. So today we're gonna see Angular JS basics. So for that, I have already created a sample. We'll just go through that one by one, and I'll explain you some of the basic concept of Angular JS. So this application, so basically Angular JS is a framework for JavaScript. So which will simplify some of the UI problems which we came across always for UI development and all. So for developing any AngularJS application, we should have AngularJS Angular.js file which we can download from Angular site itself, and then these are the jQuery related bootstrap related stuff, and then we have a CSS related stuff, bootstrap CSS and all. So this is normally a Maven application which I have created. Basically we don't need a web application for this. Directly as a HTML we can just import angular.js file into that and jQuery, and we can, without starting a server itself, we can do that thing. But I want to prefer in a proper systematic way where we can just go for a war file and all. So this is a Maven based application where we have standard tags. Packaging is a WoW because it's gonna be a web application. Name, organization, licensing tag, development, properties, and then dependency. Here we don't need this JUnit, but then too I have kept it. And this is a war file name, then output directory after this, then resources, standard resources plug. Then we have a plugin here, Maven compiler plugin, and this is a JT server plugin which gonna give us an embedded container to execute this web application. So here we have an index.html file, and as a part of web-inf we have web.xml where we have just defined the index.html as a welcome file list. So in the index.html we have imported the angular.js, where exactly we have written the logics in app.js, and then this is a angular.js which is importing a predefined library. Then we have a bootstrap and jQuery, all these related CSS as well as JS files. Then to write any to start any AngularJS application, we need to write the code in app.js file. So basically what we're gonna do, angular.module, we are defining a module with the name of my basic Angular application, and we are not injecting any dependency. That's why it is a blank, and we are storing the reference in one variable. So same name we're gonna use in index.html as a ng app. This is the app name. So this name gonna sit here. Then followed by what we are doing, we are just defining a controller. So this is what the application reference is. We have created a module with this name, and then on that module we are creating a controller. So controller name will be this, and we are injecting a scopes. So in AngularJS we have multiple types of scopes. So this is a general scope. We have root scope and other scopes also. So here we have defined a function. So in the function what we have done, scope.angular message model object welcome from AngularJS. So this is a unidirectional binding, where we are binding a model object from the controller. That's why. So to get the reference of the controller, here we have a ng controller, data ng controller, and we have defined that this body is binded to this particular controller which we have defined in angular.js here. So after that we have a different type of classes here, and then this just to print a heading and all. These are the bootstrap related containers. So this is what the model object which we have defined in the controller. So that model object, here we are binding it. Here we are binding that model object here. So what we gonna do here, this is a unidirectional binding where the data is binded from the controller to the view object. So here what we have done, we have defined a label as well as the input box here, and we have defined a text message as a model, and that model, whatever the data we are putting in the, we are entering in this a text box, it's gonna be saved in this model object, and same model object we are printing into the uh, inside the angular expression. So if anything given inside the double curly braces, it's gonna be angular expression. So this variable will be evaluate, because this is a model object. That's what how we have defined data hyphen ng hyphen model. So it become a model object for AngularJS, and this model object we are evaluating inside the expression here. So let's see, execute the application and see how it looks like. nvn jp :run. So here our application has started. We're gonna open a browser. So that's how our application, so this is what the message comes from the controller, and here whatever we are typing, so it's gonna come in the expression and it's gonna evaluate immediately. So that's how we can create a angular basic application. So for downloading angular dependency, so we can go into this and we can download the Angular 1. This all these applications are based on Angular 1, but now we have Angular 2 also. So going forward we will see how Angular 2 is different from AngularJS 1. So till then, bye, take care.